The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. It's Noyantis Usergroup meeting. Today is the 1st of October 2018. Myself and John are here. Other people still joining us as we speak. As always, anyone got any questions or queries, feel free to type them in the question box, raise your hand, we'll get the mics open and we'll cover the particular topics. While waiting for questions, there's no updates been released this last week, but as always, more work's gone on with the wrapper templates, particularly this week. A lot more is still going on with the Chillcat and specifically the QuickBooks and Xero accounting integrations. So they've had even more work done to them. Some new facilities on those in the new build, which will be version 1.11. For QuickBooks, it now covers credit memos, currencies, vendors, vendor credits, and tax rates. They've been added, as well as what was already there to do with bills, invoices, nominals, so on and so forth, or general ledgers. And Xero has also had similar things added to them. So accounts, which are your general ledger accounts, credit notes, currencies, invoices, tax rates, and so on. So that is the big change coming through in that. That's it, really. Questions? Has anyone got any questions or queries, ideas? Feel free to open the mics and let's cover a particular subject. It's all very quiet.
It's very quiet.
Isn't it?
Let's do that multi-DLL thing.
Yes, we can do some on that. Yeah. Where were we up to?
I don't know.
Let me just bring that back in. I think, let me open up a new text pad so we can. Oh.
It seems like when I get a template update from you, I just go through and compare what changes you've made with my changes to support multi-DLL, and it doesn't take me long. So there's only a few chunks of code I have to add into it to get it to do what I need it to do.
Yeah, I think it was. Let me just open. There you go. So we were working on this quite a while ago now, but this was going to prompt for. You see, there's the different themes. Yeah, this really is actually old now. This is the theme selection has changed since then. But yes, basically, I suppose we could do it in two steps, if you will. Let me just open an example app, and see what the bare minimum is we can do today to at least get some steps underway, so to speak. So let's just set up an example. Calendar is always a good one, so we'll bring up that one as an example.
Okay. I can send you my calendar template if you want to compare it. At least you can see what I did. See if that helps. Huh?
Yes, but yes, of course, it will all help. The only thing I'm thinking is let me just bring this in my webinars. Yes, the only thing I was thinking is you don't have the theme selection, do you? Or
I think so.
Do you? Oh,
it's one of your later templates. I just added in my multi-DLL stuff to it. So I think it's pretty recent.
Okay.
Let me hunt it up.
Because obviously, cold drop version would be basically these settings at the top would want to be.
Oh, you're right. I don't have that. I don't have the theme settings multi-DLL. I don't have that, but I have the rest. Well, not the rest. I just have it so it works. I can set the version, the Kojak version,
Yeah.
but I can't set the themes, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now, on the one we were working with, we were going to have, as part of a multi-DLL, yes,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
the Kojak version. So that's all okay. Yep, we're going to give it a 10, so that's okay. So for that, so it is this theme selection. Actually, that is the new style theme selection.
Oh, so
Oh yeah, yeah, that's good. So that's it's actually quite a lot of work gone on to this, isn't there? The image resource, the language resource, which all of these things are. Now, thinking about it, you wouldn't want the image resource. I don't know if people actually use that, but I don't think that would. You wouldn't want that to be necessarily multi-DLL, would you? Oh yes, I suppose so. You know, if you had all your images compiled into one DLL, then yes, you would across the multi-DLL. You would want that would come in handy. It's actually quite a lot of this done.
Let's finish it. Let's finish it up. That'd be cool.
Yeah. After it wouldn't be the manifest. Don't know what we're doing there. Okay, let's see if we add that extension. So I think it was the resource now. Ah, it seems like it's not even registered. Okay. That's because we really should have opened it in current. Okay. So we go down to ours now. So this is where we're prompting for. This is part of a multi-DLL. Yes, no, so on and so forth. We've got our specify. We have got our colours. The image resource, yes, would come in handy. So all them are good. Yes, and we could put that in. We could argue whether they should be on another button, but we can always look at that afterwards.
That's nice, though, isn't it?
We'll make it.
Having it all in one spot, yeah.
And the performance again, because all of these really can be. Oh, okay. Take it. I was just playing about there. Oh wow, that was the date. It was January when we mentioned it. Oh crikey. Okay, so we've got that, and we do a compile. Where do we get up to from this? Our app still compiles. That's always a bonus.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Okay, so back to our template. At start, so we declare whether it is multi-DLL. So then the global data, we have actually got 10 is, anybody who's ever seen any of the templates, they all start NYS for the template prompts, and any variables, any temporary things it ever creates would be NYS and then a number, and 10 is the one for the Kojak suite. So it makes perfect sense that we can use 10 for this. So basically, yeah, we can see we've got all of those, and there's the exports. So then it would be, we'll go with the calendar as well. Have the calendar actually make use of this. At some point, we actually did some work. I think it was the report control we actually did work with on this last time. I'll just have a look at it, see if I can find that. Now, that would have been commented out, but let's just take a quick look. No, so maybe it's out of a copy somewhere. Okay, so basically we have that. Just trying to think aloud. So we'll stick with the calendar here. We would then want to open up the calendar. Let's take a look. And these settings would want to be overridden, basically saying, use the CodeJock resource template. So what do you do on yours then, John? Do you just comment these out, or?
Well, I just changed the templates directly, so I don't really comment anything. I just change it so that it works. And you're trying to.
What we'd want now is
an extension, right?
Yeah, basically. So you would add this. So there's going to be a one pass through the whole system, of course. But
Right.
yeah, we'll have it. So you add that to your apps and so on and so forth. But of course, you only put all the details in one. Usually, probably the data one. To be fair, I'm just trying to think now. Just got to plan it right for the reg free com as well. So that's also going to need to know the on the main menu that it's got it, and it's got the version, so it can detect it and do it accordingly.
So is this going to replace the 7 or 8 other templates?
No. This is it's just in addition. So you will add this, but then all your settings will just be on here. So basically, the calendar in a second will introduce a new tab. That's what I think we did it last time. We introduced a new tab, which basically says you're using the resource. Do you want to use the resource? Yes or no? And if you do, then basically all these will disappear. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That. Yeah. What does it do with those details at the moment? Take that for example. So obviously it does various things. It does some checking with that, but then these get set. So basically, these variables, what we'll do is if we're using the resource, that's where they'll be switched to say, oh yeah, use 10 instead of. So yeah, you use 10. Okay. I think I know what I'm doing. So I'll do the actual tidy up afterwards. So we'll just do it as a resource. Yeah, all these can be tidied up afterwards. They'll want to go on the other. Ah, crikey, that's going to be awkward. Okay, come back to that in a second. Okay, so here's our calendar. We should have a new tab. Like I say, we'll do the tidy up. I just want to see it in action. So ticking that, we'll take a load of tabs off. So that's that. So far, so good. So the next, it is where these are being used, which I think is just going to be in this section here.
So if that's checked on, you just don't define those there, right?
Well, I would just actually think because there's going to be other things, other occurrences of these, but also other things which have been entered, say the themes and all these particular settings and so on and so forth. What we might do is, if this is checked, when that's been accepted, so basically something like that, go and set all the current template prompts, which are hidden, they'll be out of the way, to the one off the global, off the 10. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, that's such a shame. Just trying to think the the maximum impact for the least work, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's take the theme for example. Let's say that I know that will be used obviously throughout here, but it'll also be used in other parts of the template. For example, here, theme location, so on and so forth. And the template that's not good. They'd have to be variables, the global variables. Sorry, everyone's watching, probably thinking you're seeing the inner workings here of I go quiet while I have to think things through. So basically, what I'm thinking here, then, we've got our resources. Let's put it in that because that should be empty. We've got our resources. We've got all those variables created globally, and of course it was multi-DLL. They'll all be there for us, but every template is going to have to change to basically get these settings. So it's where I could do with the likes of where it applies a theme, for example, or the keystrokes, so on and so forth, which are not keystrokes. That's probably a bad example. Yeah, the themes is a perfect example. That instead of using the template, it really wants to use the variable. That would work.
Right.
That makes sense. So basically, use the global variable. Okay. So we don't break it. Let me just try it here. So we've got our theme. That theme currently goes. I'm going to stick with that theme. Actually, it doesn't have it currently. It's a new one. What obviously has that. We haven't actually done the theming here. So have a theme. Yeah, I suppose it's good as any. And then in the calendar, oh, crikey. That's going to be awkward. Not all themes are available. Oh, no, they are now. Yeah, they are now. There is actually an issue there from the theme point of view. If we're using external themes, then all the products are have got the same theme available to them. But if you're not using that, you're using the built-in ones, different products have different themes. So the calendar might have, let's see, for example,
Yeah.
that's going to be an issue. Yeah, so we look at some of the built-in ones. Normally, everyone uses the external ones, to be fair. But if we look at some of these internal ones, Office 2000 is built in, 2003 is built in, Office XP. More or less, they are available to the different products. But if they're external, but I know, like the report control and the task panel, they definitely have their own built-in themes, lots of them, and their values are different from product to product. That's going to pose a little bit of an issue. Okay. Well, we'll try see if we can get this going. It's gonna be a strange webinar, this, isn't it? Lots of talking to myself. Oh, well, thank you. Why can't I find it? Hmm. Yeah, the theme's going to throw us. I suppose we could do the version, but it's kind of defeats the object. If people are going to do this, they're going to really want to. Should really try and do it all at once, to be fair. But yeah, so the example code, what I'm on there, the example line, it's obviously template, so it's hash if, and then we're checking template variables. We need to. Oh no, sorry, no, it wouldn't work. Yeah, we need to basically that would have to turn into generated code. Yeah, that would have to turn into generated code, which not the end of the world. But if we're going to do that, then I'd put parts of this off to the common class and have it do the calculating and so on and so forth that way. Yeah, that's probably the reason why we shelved it at the time, John, because there's quite a lot involved in the making the themes available across multi-DLL.
Yeah, this is where we always get stopped.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, 9 months have gone by.
I was going to say, yeah. But yes, that's typical. But yeah, that would. I'm just trying to think of the easiest way of getting. We can't just set the template prompts of this because if it's multi-DLL, we've got our data app and we've set all our settings in there. So we said, okay, we want this license code, this, and so on and so forth. That's brilliant. The only way we can transport them, and you'll be doing the same in your examples, is you'll be passing the putting the data into a global variable, which the template can create, but into a global variable. Then, obviously, from multi-DLL, they can all get to it. Those particular values. You don't have that ability with the templates. As in a global variable from a template point of view. That's the only problem. So we're going to have to switch a lot of the actual individual product code, like this here. We're going to have to switch them to work off the global variables instead of template variables. That's what we'd have to do. Can't think of another way around it. That is a shame, though. Just out of interest, and if I was to set that to our new variable, oh no, you wouldn't need to do that. First one, that should work. And then what we'll do is we'll get that variable, which we just created. We'll then get that to use the NYS 010 version. So we've got that set to, we'll go with Office 2010 Blue. Yep, that's fine. And then we're going to set this to something different. So in a minute, yeah, Office 2016 White. In the generated code of a calendar, we look in here and expect to see some Office 2010. Well, actually, no, it'll be a new variable now. Oh, it's on the else. That's why. Oh, crikey. It's a bit awkward, this one. Yeah.
Well, here's my thoughts here,
Go on. I was
which
interested.
is to not let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And for me, the good is to
The version.
at least have versions, yes, because themes I don't change that much, right? I go in the program, I set them up once, and they're pretty much done. But versions change. Kojak comes out with a new release, and then I got to go into all these. Well, I don't because I changed my template, but people have to go into all the different ones to change it to the newest version.
Yeah, agreed. Okay.
0.3, and there's a bug fix, and then now there's 0.4, whatever they have to do. So for me,
Okay.
just being able to go into one spot, change that version, put in my, my code in one
No,
spot.
I get you. Yeah, that's well, we can do
And that takes care of the 80% of what I need to do. That would save me a tons of time, and then let you kind of figure out the theme thing maybe later.
Okay, so we've got this in. We've got that. It's fine on there. We'll ignore that a second. Okay. So the theme would have to break off onto its own, but like I say, we'll cover that afterwards. So we've got that, and we'll just go with the particular version. So let's go with that, as you say. We'll just as a proof of concept.
Yeah.
So that's there, and of course there, and it should be in other places. But there's our main things there, and it also gets fed into the manifest. So I'm going to have to think about the manifest as well. But yeah, definitely going to have to think about the manifest because of. Okay.
I know we had this discussion where, do you put all the settings in the base DLL or do you put it in the exe? And mine are all in the exe, so it works fine with the manifest and everything because everything just goes in that one spot.
Yeah.
But you wanted to do it in the base.
Well, no, thinking about it, the exe would be the better place now actually because that they're all required for the reg3com, which there's no real reason why people wouldn't be using reg3com now. So that that is a better place. So no, I'm converted on that. It's just normally I would put my settings into the base, the data, but no, with reg3com you kind of do have to do it at that point. We're going to have worry about it. I'm going to have to think of a workaround, but just like the themes, we're going to have that same issue because this is a template group which is getting inserted to create the manifest, update the manifest for us, so on and so forth, and it's using those versions, and it's going to need to use the variable, a global variable. So that's going to be awkward. That's going to be really awkward. But
right. Not
impossible.
Let me drop you my calendar template, and you can just see what I did as far as the variables and stuff. And maybe that will help. Maybe it won't. Let's see if I can find it. I think you just need the TPW. I'll put them both over.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta find you in my Skype. And
right, there we go. Going to do that. While you do that, I'll just jump to the other place there. So we're thinking along the lines of a bit crude this at the moment. Something's just come through. So Okay, if that's that, go and use version the variable 10. Let's take a quick look. Well, I'll quickly just try this. Won't be a second.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm going to set the calendar to use 18.3. Yep, and I'm going to tell the resource to use 18.5. And on one of the calendars, doesn't really matter, I'll go with a simple. I'm just going to put a button on the screen to give us the about, so we can see which one's being used.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So after a load of and ahhing before, we might actually make a bit of progress here. So the about. So we compile, run, and I expect it to give an 18.3. Calendar, simple, about. Oh, I haven't done anything. Oh, crikey. Yeah, just,
Yeah, but why didn't I notice that you didn't do anything?
well, too busy thinking of the actual task at hand to actually, put a meaningful test on this. So it would be calendar pro dot about. Quick. There is an about method in all the products. If you call it, it will show you basically information coming from the OCX, that is, about the actual version and so on. So you'll see that. The reason I include that is it comes in handy if you ever think, is the OCX even working? Is it registered on this? Have I got problems? So on and so forth. You can hit the about and you know that it's working because it's going to come back and tell you. Except this has decided to not do it. Fine. Let me open up the about. Just quickly see it. MIS common. About box. Where did I put my code?
I thought it was in the about. Yeah. I saw you do it.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a comment.
There's no code there. It's empty.
Oh. It was there.
I'm gonna have to watch that video back afterwards.
Yeah, me too. I've had that happen.
About. Save it.
That's how you do that.
Save.
Yes.
Save. Okay. Let's just get that out of the way. Yes. Okay. So now we've got that. 3, and there's the about. So we're on 18.3. Agreed. Right. Okay. Enough of me. So that was the about box coming from the template. So I'm sorry, from the control. So now,
Right.
if we said yes to this and recompile, I would like it to come up and say it's 18.5. Same test. Oops, sorry, wrong one. And about 18.5. Okay, so now that is taking the value off the other template, the resource template. So
Good.
that works for us. I suppose it is a matter then of we want to do the license and the hotfix. It's just repeat and rinse of that several times over.
Yes.
So on our resource, yeah, there's the codes. Okay. Okay. There's a code version, the theme. I'll play about that. I'm going to hide this for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll have to think of a way of around that. But the licenses. So yes, basically all of these can be done. So what have I got here? The question it asks is, this is part of a multi-DLL. Yeah, it's declared in this app. And that's the multi-DLL data. Okie dokie. Take that off for now. So the theme one you won't see. Licenses you will. Okay. Yep. So in yours, John, I take it you that's about the it of the changes, is it not?
Yeah. Like I said, there weren't a lot.
No.
It was just
Better just have a look at the ramifications for all of these. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I can do that. Is the hotfix used anywhere else? Yeah, still that manifest. I can't release this until I've got the manifest question corrected, if you will, because no, it's not in that. Which one? It's in that one. Declare that. Oh, well, actually, there won't be a problem, will there? Because we are going to. I think that on this, it would be that you have to put your settings on the main menu, as we said a minute ago. So there wouldn't be a problem. So,
Right.
yeah, okay. Thinking aloud. Got so many things going through my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, that works too. So far, so good. Okay, so for example, on this, we'll tidy some of this up. Actually, use my head. I can do this a different way. Won't be a second. Just checking something over here on the other screen. Wrong version. Okay, so we set TPL. Okay, sorry. Right, sorry about that. So we would go through. We want that to equal that, followed by that, followed by that. That's correct. Nope, done this the wrong way around. They want to be 10. Okay, so far so good. In here, that would also want to be the same. John, do you realise the work that you're going to caused me on all of this for all of the products.
Yes, but it's work you have to do, and I don't.
That remains the same.
And just think of all the developer time you're going to save, all the hundreds of man hours.
Agreed.
Save the world.
Agreed. Okay, so there's a couple of changes. So that we'll try a reg-free com on this as well. Yeah, okay. Oh, needs to go close the app and reopen it. Yep, sorry about that. Template change. Classes, if you copy classes in, you can just do a quick recompile. But if you change the template, you do have to close and open the app again. Okay, so quick check on this again. We'll just see. That's 18.5, yes. We'll just check from a registry com point of view. So now we want to go to our resource, because we said we are using this. It's external, and that would have them here. Thinking aloud. Okay, we've got that, and oh, we haven't got the settings for registry. We haven't got the prompts. We're missing a whole set of prompts. Yeah, we're missing that tab.
I just let the original template do that. I don't think you need the resource one to do it, do you?
Don't know why. In reality, if you're going to use reg-free.com, you're using it for the full suite. So you could set it once rather than having to set it out on each template.
Right.
Make it very simple for switching. It's only one set of one set of prompts. But yes, yeah, let's just go and grab that. It shouldn't be too much fuss. Where is it in here? Should be a register template somewhere. There you go. Okay, so that's that. So do a register, so that's going to be our settings for that, and that's version 10. Put that onto the resource. So following that through the register, let's go with that. In fact, there is actually one other thing we do need to do is we get all the places of that. So that's under there. Oh crikey, that's another thing which is going to be which is going to throw us as well. Okay. Nope, not that one. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think this one through a bit more. John, because there's parts of the template which are actually still using that template prompt for the version. Of course, that is like the bare essential, if you will.
Yeah, because of the way you're doing it with that extra little piece there. Well,
is that the calc?
well,
That's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. I actually do think it's not far off. Let me quickly open this and now set the resource one to do the reg free com and have a look at the manifest which is created. It won't work because of the license. CJ unavailable. Did I miss a? Obviously missed a variable. CJ. Ah, yeah, I think I know what I've done. CJ resource. Okay, so onto here, register will select use reg free com, which of course will generate the manifest. We'll have a quick look at what's been generated, and it should be 18.5 manifest and not 18.3.
this is getting pretty exciting, Andy.
Let's have a quick look. So where's our manifest? There's two of them. There's one, sorry. There should be two. No. That's opened up, and that, interestingly, hasn't been changed. So, okay. Okay, so why was that? I thought we'd put it under the actual generation. Ah, it's there. Right, okay, no problem. Need to just break that a little. Oh yeah, okay. Take that off. Pinch that, change it to 10. Okay. Edge control there. Yep, fine. Oh, well, got a couple of questions actually I've just seen. We'll quickly go to them in a second. Let's try and compile. First one was, while waiting for that, Jesper asked if we'd looked at the field picker yet. No, sorry, not had a chance to look at that yet. There is work on the report control, but I've not looked at that yet, so apologies. Pete's had to leave, that's okay. And then Bill saying, if this is a multi-DLL program, does this only need to be added to the file DLL or to each? This will only be needed. Now let's get this right. You will add it to the main menu, especially using Reg3Com. So you'll add this to the resource to the main menu, set your particular settings, so on and so forth, and I think it'll be needed on the data DLL. In fact, it will be, because that's where they'll be set to export. So it'll be the data DLL, and then obviously in the different DLLs you've got, where you've got your physical usage of the let's say calendar or command bar, where you've got the usage of the actual products, you'll go onto there, and where you historically would have put all your particular settings, like so, you'll take this to say, okay, use the resource, which will take away the over tabs and so on and so forth, and take the settings off the actual resource. But that will be defined, like I say, on the exe, and I think it will still be needed at the data as well. So, okay, another quick compile there, because I just noticed. So on this one, that's not set to register, and it's also 18.3. That is set to register, and it's 18.5. So this time, yes, that was better. Now we've got a manifest, and it is for, let's open it up here, 18.5 as instructed. And of course, we're hoping that this has changed, and it has. And basically it's told to include the calendar 18.5. That's good. So that works, and I always like to double check. So basically, what I will do is I'll turn that off, and we'll just do a compile. So let's get rid of those manifests. Do a compile. We'd expect just one manifest to be generated, and it'll be for the application, and it won't be linked to the control manifest. Let's take a look. One manifest. Open that, and yeah, no link. And then last but not least, we'll set that to do reg recom, but it'll be 18.3. Yeah, 18.3. And our app is 18.3. Okay. Oh, no, quick compile. And we'll see that turn to 18.5. So that will actually give us our version. I'll do the other settings. I'll have a look. Yeah, I'll might as well quick look now. There's no other questions come in. That's now 18.5. So yeah, so that's the reg recom bit working. That's good. Yeah, just thinking aloud. Okay, still got the theme, or basically parts of the products being parts of the register settings being used elsewhere in the version settings. It's a little concern, I've got to admit, but let's take a look. I'll look at it and probably come up with some kind of way around it, I'm sure. Got the version number, the hotfix, we'll just check, but I think we've got that sorted. So we are using it there or there. It's not used anywhere else. Oh. That's interesting. That's good. Yeah, that's not going to bite us. That's going to go off the variable. So if we look at our generated code here, we should see that the hotfix should be set to 18.5. Go to any of these. Well, it's just a variable. Yeah, so sorry, thinking aloud there. That's good. I'll try our Unicode, make sure that we're okay on all of these. Ah. Okie dokie. I think that can just change to be the variable. Oh, we haven't got a variable yet, but we will have. Ultimately, we're going to have all of these. That is going to do, yeah. Okay, do one at a time. that will also need calculating. Okay, I'll do this last change and I'll probably wrap up there, but we've made actually some progress on it there, to be fair. Probably,
Yes.
At last. So we'll continue it in 9 months' time.
Okay. Look forward to next March or so, or March, April, May, June. Yeah. Okay. Next June.
No, we'll do this. Well, basically, I'll flush through. We'll have it on the calendar template, because of course that should really be that particular setting, but the calendar won't know anything about being the data external. That's calculated here, whether it's threaded and so on. So I'm going to have to do a few. But yeah, none of them are set to there. I would have expected comma thread on there. So there's going to have to be quite a lot of checking and testing just on the calendar alone, and then when it's good to go, we'll roll it across the other products as well. But that's no problem. Okay, so that's good.
I'll be ready for it.
And all that needs to be is that particular, where's our variable? That variable. So now that can change to just be that. Okay, so that should be fine. Is Unicode used elsewhere? I bet it's used in here as well. Yes, of course. And the same with the x64, which we might as well just do that in a second as well. You get to see it gets quite in depth, doesn't it? Okay. That's using 10, that's using that. Yep, fine. Okay. Wow, okay. We'll quickly try that as well. So let's turn off the reg-free com. But in our example, we will put it into, say, Chinese, and then we'll use the Unicode for that. Okay. So onto here, we're not going to use our reg-free com because I don't want to reveal license code, but I do want to see it working. So we're going to go do not register. We're using 18.5. I do want the Unicode version, and actually, because it's a Unicode version, I'm going to have to make sure that I've registered last. So, yeah, that's good. And we want to set the language. We're not done that bit yet, so we can't test it. Okay, no problem. Yeah, the thing, what I was going to mention here is this one, the language resource. So that we need to bring that one across, but it happens to be on the theme bit. Okay, no problem. Sure, we did have it at some point there. Okay. Everyone's still with us. Oh, they fell asleep.
Still here.
Okay, so that prompts for it there, but it would be used elsewhere. It would be used in here. So again, we're going to That's going to need to change to be variables. Which are the debug preferences. We haven't got variables for those two. Probably was image resource, not resource image. Okay, so we'll have, just as we've done with the other, we'll have a couple of variables. Resource lang, okay. We'll have a couple of variables and we'll change our code to use those. So the code in here, apply local language. Where is that prompted for? On the global resources. Okay, that's local. Anywhere else that's used before I do these other changes? Yeah, just those two. Okay. Just realised that should be free. Okie dokie, sorry about. Today's going to be a bit of a strange, quiet one for attendees, but hopefully you can see some changes going on which you'll like going forward. Definitely, as John says, will make things easier for changing CodeJock versions and so on. It's just not the most exciting of webinars, but it's progress. So basically, just as we've done with the others, I've 2 new global variables, going to store the resource image, resource language, and then we've just reworked the code during the initialization to basically that is a local variable, template variable is, but local so we can use it, and then we'll have to generate some extra code. And it's those type of changes that I'm gonna have to rework some of the theme applying to go from template code to work global variables instead. And that should be 03, and that should be 03. Yeah. Okay, let's try that, and we'll see how we fare at that. I did want to get the name of the Chinese so we can see that the actual thing is working. Okay, so into here we should have our new prompts at the bottom now. Image resource, yes, brilliant. Language resource, we shall put it to that. So now, and it should already be set to Unicode. Yep, Unicode 18.5. Let's take a look at that. And open up one of the calendars and let's have a look if we start seeing Chinese names for the month. Oh, okay. That's not what we wanted. Okay, what we'll do. Let's also make sure that the manifest files aren't there, which is also going to potentially stop it from working. Okay, so it's not that, and we haven't got no about. Okie dokie. So we're not using the new resource. It should be the old calendar. So we haven't upset that, so to speak. We then put our resource on. Oh, sorry. Take the settings from the resource template, which is do not register, use 18.5 with, and we'll just take that out. Shouldn't make any difference, but we'll take that out. We'll even take the Unicode off. Do we get a calendar there? Just trying to see at what point it's not working. Unicode, the calendar works fine with Unicode. I've tried it in some tests and so on, so there's no problem with that. So it's going to be the changes that we've done today. So there's standard 18.5, 18.5, yes. So one step at a time. Let's tell it now to use the Unicode of 18.5. Okay, that's good. So then we go to put the language back in. That's good, except we're not getting our Unicode content. Okay. It seems I've used the wrong variable. We shouldn't have had it's using the image resource. Sorry about that. Yeah, it wants to be a language. I'm just thinking I've got to do this to the rest of the products like another. There's 13 products in the CodeJock suite, I think, altogether. So this will keep me busy.
It's your own fault for having so many products.
That's just the CodeJock suite. There's actually quite a few others. Okay, let me go back in on that. Oh, that's me messaging out, but that's basically, as we can see now, we're in simplified Chinese. So interesting how they do their month, day, year. They actually have the words. So yeah, so basically that is those settings. So just to recap, because we are going to tie it up now, but yes, basically, John, I think you could well get your birthday present, as Roberta would say. you could well get this very soon. We'll continue it next week. I'll do some more tidy ups before next week's webinar, and we'll recap of exactly what we've what we've got and what we need to do going forward. I'll check the rest of any of the templates being used. Template variables being used, e.g., like the x64, and where else the image is used, and so on and so forth, to make sure that it's not using these. Basically, we can't use these anymore. We need to use the other equivalent. So
right.
So yeah, okay.
Getting closer. I like it. This was a good webinar for me.
Well,
I'd like to watch it.
in fairness for everybody else, if you're wondering what we've just bleated on about for the last 100 minutes or so, the idea is that you'll be able to go to your main exe. Oh, sorry, let's go into here. Go to basically one central place, so you can say, okay, there'll be multi-DLL, but the main things you'll be interested in is I can change the CodeJot version, and I can apply a language theme, so on. You'll be able to set it to use Reg3Com or not, and you'll be able to put your licenses in just one place. So for multi-DLL, this will be a big step forward for you. You put them in one place, and then you won't have to go into all the other apps going forward. So if you wanted to change from CodeJock 18.5 to 18.6, or turn on to Unicode for your applications, or so, any kind of things like that, you'll be doing it in just one place. And I don't know how many apps your solutions got, John. I know the practice management system I did at the last place was spread across something like, I think it was 38 apps. It was a fair size system. So changing the CodeJot version was, and you're quite right, it was a nightmare, because it meant you had to go through. We also did synchronize the themes as well. So that's why I'm still keen to bring the theme thing into the global this template. It might not go in V1 because we don't want to hold it up. As John said, the quote earlier about perfection and so on, don't let it to be to the detriment. So the theme one probably won't go into V1. Not V1, the initial release of this, but it will follow, because I will want it to do it. It's I know other developers do use standard themes across the whole suite as well, so it's something I probably would want to do. But yes, okay, we'll wrap it up at that. And obviously questions and ideas and so on next week, but if there's no other content, we will continue on this as well to see about doing some testing and getting it out so it can go in the next set of releases.
Yes.
And then, John, you'll be much easier to keep up to date.
Yes. Very nice.
Cool. Okay, thank you very much for your patience, everybody. If you're still watching this on a recording, I'd question your sanity, but thank you very much, and I shall see you all next week. Cheers.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you. Bye.